Hey everyone, I honestly didn't think I'd be back with another update this soon, but a lot has happened. First, I just want to say thank you. Seriously, the support, the advice, the messages, it's meant more than you can imagine. I'll link my first post and update for anyone who hasn't seen them, but for now, let's get into what happened. After a lot of thinking and a lot of late nights going back and forth in my head, I've made a decision. I'm going to file for divorce. I haven't done it yet, and I don't plan to until after the holidays. But at this point, it's just a formality. Because my marriage, it's over. I know I've been hesitant before. I've questioned whether or not to end things with Katie, hoping maybe there was something left to save. But now I know for sure. There's no going back. Let me explain. Katie came home on Sunday right after Thanksgiving. She looked exhausted, like she hadn't slept in days, but more than that, she looked sad. We sat down in the living room to talk, and what she told me, it completely floored me. She's pregnant, yeah. I was stunned, still am, honestly. I didn't know what to say. I just sat there trying to process it. How did I not notice? Why didn't she tell me sooner? And then she told me why. Turns out, Katie had been trying to baby trap me. Yeah, you heard that right. When she first brought up the topic of kids again a few months ago, she admitted that she'd started getting what she called baby fever. But after I told her twice that I wasn't ready and that I didn't want any more kids right now, she apparently snapped. She said she was furious and that after our last conversation, she talked it out with one of her friends. And this friend, whoever she is, suggested that Katie should just make it happen. The plan was simple, apparently. Get pregnant and I'd have no choice but to stay. That friend apparently told her I loved her too much to walk away, that once the baby came, I'd change my mind. And Katie, in her own words, believed her. So she went through with it. She confessed that she'd been poking holes in the condoms and stopped taking her birth control. Hearing that, I can't even describe the feeling. It's like the air left the room. I don't know how long it went on or how far along she really is, but based on the timing, I'm guessing a little over 2 months. She admitted that after our last big fight, when I said no to having another kid, she already knew she was pregnant. But that wasn't the worst part. She said that once she realized I still wasn't going to put a new baby over my son, Bran, and that I wasn't going to distance myself from my ex, she panicked. That's why she went to stay with her parents. She said she needed to think about what to do next. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I just sat there completely numb and listened. When she finished, I stood up and told her that I'd be filing for divorce and that I wanted her to move out as soon as possible. Then I left. I don't even remember much after that. I just drove for hours, cried, yelled in the car, pulled over a few times just to breathe. It's embarrassing to admit, but I felt broken, completely betrayed. A few days later, she refused to leave. She begged me to stay, said we could fix it, go to therapy, raise the baby together, start over. But I can't. Not after this. Not after she still stands by what she said about Bran, that he's in the way of us being happy. And not after she tried to trap me into being a father again, against my will. All the trust, gone. And I honestly don't think it can ever come back. Right now, she's still living in the house. She keeps begging me not to leave, keeps saying she'll go to therapy, that she'll work on herself. But you can't fix something after this kind of betrayal. It's not just a mistake, it's a choice. And she made it. I don't even know how to start explaining this to people. How do I tell my family? How do I tell her family? How do I even begin to tell Bran? Christmas is coming up. My family and Anne's family are both getting together like we do every year at Anne's house, and I know people are going to ask, where's Katie? What am I supposed to say? That my wife tried to manipulate me into having a baby I didn't want, that she destroyed our marriage and my trust in one of the worst possible ways? I don't know. I feel angry and hurt and lost all at the same time, and I can't even express it properly because of everything that's still going on. I don't know what the future holds right now, but I know I can't stay in this marriage, so where do I go from here? How do I tell people the truth without tearing everything apart? And most of all, what am I supposed to do about the baby? Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while since my last update, and for that, I really do apologize. It's been a crazy year, to say the least. Before I dive in, I just want to thank all of you for the support and advice you've given me along the way. It's meant more than I can put into words. You've helped me process, reflect, and honestly, just feel less alone in all this. So, I know most of you probably want to know how things have been going. I won't waste any more time. So much has happened since the last time I posted, so I'll try to keep this as organized as I can without going into too many unnecessary details. Let's start with the biggest topic, me and Katie's relationship. My divorce from Katie was finalized back in April of 2025. It went smoother than I expected, and honestly, that was mostly thanks to her parents. For context, after New Year's, I sent out a long email to both my parents and Katie's parents. In that email, I explained everything, from the baby trapping to the things she said about Bran and that I was planning to divorce her. I laid it all out, every single piece of it. After about a week of silence, Katie's dad, my father-in-law, reached out personally. He apologized on behalf of his daughter and told me that both he and his wife would support my decision to end the marriage. He also said they'd make sure Katie didn't cause any trouble for me during the process. I didn't find out until later, but apparently her parents had actually threatened to cut her out of their will if she refused to go through with the divorce any longer. That news hit me weirdly. I was grateful, but also sad that it had come to that. In the end, I kept my house, since it was mine long before I met Katie and was always in my name, and I kept my car too. When it came to money, things were actually pretty simple. Katie and I always had separate bank accounts, except for a joint one that we used for household expenses, bills, groceries, Wi-Fi, things like that. We split that account 50-50, and that was that. As part of the settlement, I do have to pay her alimony and child support, and honestly, I'm okay with that. It's not about money anymore. I just want peace, stability, and to move on. Now, let's talk about Bran. After the new year, I sat down with Anne, my ex-wife, and her husband. He's very involved in Bran's life, and I've always respected that. We decided it would be best to talk to Bran together as a united front. When the time came, we sat him down. I told him the truth about what was going on between me and Katie and what she'd said and done. I told him that she'd lied, that she'd hidden how she really felt about him, and that it wasn't his fault. Bran took it surprisingly well. He was upset, of course, confused, hurt, and he had a lot of questions. But the first thing he asked me was if I was okay, and then if this meant that I had to move away. I told him firmly, no, I wasn't going anywhere. That made him smile. And he gave me one of the longest hugs he's ever given me. He's a good kid, stronger than I ever was at his age. And yes, I did tell him about the baby, but not how it came to be. I just said that it was an unexpected accident. He's smart. He probably has his suspicions, but he's still just a kid. He doesn't need to carry the weight of all that just yet. I'll tell him the full truth when he's older and ready to understand it. Now, let's talk about the baby, because that's been one of the biggest emotional roller coasters of my life. Katie went through with the pregnancy, which didn't surprise me. Given everything she did to make it happen, I had a feeling she wasn't going to change her mind. I won't lie, I was emotionally detached the whole time. I still showed up to every appointment. I helped build furniture, painted the nursery walls, and made sure she had what she needed. But emotionally, I felt like I was watching everything from a distance. Katie tried multiple times to get back together with me. She even tried to seduce me at one point, which was the last straw. I told her father what happened, and whatever he said to her after that must have hit hard, because she finally backed off and stopped the harassment. Now, for the part I know most people are curious about, the baby. In early June of 2025, Katie gave birth to a healthy baby boy. I was there the whole time during labor. It wasn't easy for me emotionally, since I wasn't really connected to the pregnancy the way a father usually would be. But I didn't want her to go through it alone. Afterward, we did a DNA test, because honestly, I needed it for my own peace of mind. The results came back clear. I'm 100% the father. As weird as it sounds, that actually lifted a huge weight off my chest. I finally felt like I could breathe again after months of tension, doubt, and constant anxiety. We named our son Sean. We have 50-50 custody. I get Sean for 1 week, and then Katie does the next. It's a rhythm that's working surprisingly well so far. Bran loves his baby brother, though he does complain about the noise at night. So Anne and I made a deal. During the weeks I have Sean, Bran sleeps over at her house so he can actually rest and still get to school on time. Having another baby has been surreal. It feels like I'm learning everything all over again, from changing diapers to bottle feeding to those sleepless nights where you just sit there, rocking them until they finally drift off. It's exhausting, but it's also kind of rewarding in a way I didn't expect. I won't pretend it's easy, but I'm trying. And despite everything that's happened, Sean's healthy, happy, and hitting all his milestones right on time. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I can officially say that I've been divorced twice, which is not something I ever thought I'd say in my life. It's been humbling, and honestly, I think I'm done with dating for a long, long time. Maybe forever. But there's a bit of good news too. Something that genuinely made me smile. Anne and her husband are expecting. She's due in December, and I couldn't be happier for them. They're both amazing people, and they deserve all the happiness in the world. As for Bran, he's been handling all these life changes like a champ. Still, we decided to put him in therapy, just so he has someone neutral to talk to, someone who isn't tied up in all this adult mess. At the end of the day, I'm grateful. I've got 2 sons now, a solid co-parenting relationship with my ex, and peace of mind knowing that I did what I needed to do to protect my kid and my own sanity. This post is already long enough, so I'll stop here. I'm not sure if I'll post again, but I do want to say this. Thank you to everyone who's followed this story, offered advice, or even just sent kind words. It's meant a lot to me through all of this. If anyone has questions, I'll do my best to answer them when I can. But for now, I think I just need some time to breathe and focus on my boys